a neutral standpoint. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's behind us. Let's move on to what I would call the game of the day. Enclave Gaming versus Misfits Academy. Big game for Enclave. Misfits have shown weakness, but have always come back in. Can Enclave take advantage of their mid-game decision-making?
And that annoys me. Misfits Academy are winning games that they have no right to win. Like, particularly that game against Wind and Rain. Wind and Rain had that game in the bag, and they ended up just throwing it in its entirety. And this is something I want to see these teams. You can see the weaknesses are there, but no one has really been able to find a way to punish it super heavily. I'm hoping that Enclave can turn this around, though, and really find a way to keep these guys in check.
And we'll see now bans quick and fast coming right through to these both sides. As we see Azir, Tristana, Braum taken away by the side of Enclave Gaming, while Misfits decide to go with Camille, Skarner, and Rise. And looks like Enclave, they're going to actually secure their AD carry of choice. And knowing that they either get the Sejuani or the Zac, I kind of like this choice coming in here, because Frappy, when given the room and when given the space, can just become a god.
Yeah, exactly. And Xayah is definitely a champion that you can kind of show off a little bit on as well when you're able to get that DPS out, get plenty of those feathers scattered around the place. But it does mean that the likes of Galio are on board, and this is something that you most certainly do not want to give Special. He's had outstanding performances on this champion in the mid lane, and he's got his hands on it once again. Something I'd also like to see Misfits do is stick Afflict onto a little bit of an earlier game jungler. We saw them when he was fighting against Wind and Rain, that the tank in the Sejuani just wasn't really up to scratch. He does much better on the likes. We've seen him on the Rengar, we've seen him on the Nidalee, and especially with that Rengar rework as well, doing absolute terrors in solo queue. I'd love to see him pick up something like that and really just go to town on Monkus.
Yeah, we'll see what they want to do with this one. And like you said, Special has been so good on this Galio. Understands how it works, understands where to be, when to be. Paris, though, has been maybe not equally as good, but definitely equally as impressive at certain points on this Cassiopeia. Just needs to work on the consistency, but I like the Cassiopeia pick into the Galio.
Yeah, he has had his moments. He's definitely had his shining light where he's made these big plays happen. And we saw it in the last game, he picked up the Cassiopeia. He played phenomenally as well. So this is really going to be the clash of the Titans now in the mid lane. How Paris can go up against Special, as you're saying, it is favorable for the Cassiopeia, but we're going to have to see how well Paris can really punish this pickup now, as we're going to see Caitlyn locked in as well on the far side. I was actually surprised to see the Rakan picked up. Generally, Rakan isn't that great unless he's matched with the Xayah, so you can see that they're just trying to take it away from Shogun and Frappy to make sure they're not getting that combo, but it does put them at a little bit of a disadvantage in the bottom lane.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of one of those things right now. The combination of Xayah Rakan is so strong that if you ban away the Rakan, you're not really, or ban away the Xayah, you're not really going to take the Rakan. But if the other team has picked the Xayah, you need to pick the Rakan. It's just not it's not an if or but anymore. It's a must. As we see more jungle bans being piled in by the side of Enclave, and the last two bans for Misfits are going to be that Alistair and Tam Kench, getting rid of that kind of CC tanky stability in that bot lane for this Xayah. And so the likes of, you know, the Braum is, the Braum has actually been taken away, but the Taric is still available. Jarvan now also being taken away. They're actually leaving Sejuani up. They must know that Afflict does not like playing this, because Sejuani is pretty damn strong right now.
Yeah, after his game last time around on it, I don't think many teams will fear him on that champion, but he will. Looks like he's going to lock it in again for himself. And especially when you're looking at the likes of Xayah, who can pretty handily dodge away from that with the Featherstorm. It's only really going to be the Cassiopeia that he can try and lock down, and it's going to be quite hard to follow up onto that, especially when you've got so much engage coming through from the Zac. You'll have the miasma there as well. Once that Cassiopeia comes out of that stun, she's going to have the ultimate there as well to disengage. So it's actually going to be pretty hard for Misfits to follow up on everything that they're going to be putting down when you're looking at Special as well, going to be following up. But Afflict isn't really going to be the one who's going to be jumping forward into the front line.
Yeah, and honestly, it looks like Enclave have kind of dictated what Misfits are allowed to play in this game. They took the Xayah first pick, meaning the Rakan was left open, which meant they had to pick it. There's one pick down. They, know that the Galio's left open. They're totally comfortable picking the Cassiopeia into it. Then they pick the Caitlyn, and they kind of force the Sejuani onto Misfits for Afflict. honestly, they feel like they've gotten pretty much everything they've wanted. They pick up the Cho'Gath and the Janna to round out their composition, while the Shen is going over to Shikari. I'm quietly optimistic for Enclave's chances because they look like they've come into this game with a game plan.
Yeah, they definitely do have one. They've got the great engage. They've got the Janna there for the disengage for everything that's going to be coming through from the Sejuani. But I'm looking at Misfits Academy, and they have put everything onto Chrisberg right now. Special, Shikari, Afflict are not going to be able to carry this game. It has to be this Caitlyn who's going to be the standout pick. So that screams to me that Frappy and Shogun have to show up this time around for Enclave. They must keep themselves safe in the bottom lane. And something that I love to see when you've got the Galio and the Rakan together is the second Rakan hits level 6, you just dive bot lane. It's this almost guaranteed engage because of the ultimate that's coming through. And if Frappy and Shogun aren't respecting that and playing far enough back, it's going to be so easy for Misfits to run through them and pick up that first lane turret in the bottom lane, then start to rotate so well as they do as we push in towards the mid game. You need to try and shut this down in its entirety, or else you run the risk of losing the game. So I'm looking at Enclave, making sure that their bot lane is safe and that there's no hope for Misfits to try and punish them there.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see as we go into game. Misfits, known for kind of maybe not looking the super strongest, but have yet to be taken down. Still undefeated within the ESL Premiership 2018 spring season. Whereas Enclave, they've shown fantastic brilliance and moments of absolute clown fiestas. So I'm very curious to see which one they got, but it looks like they've come in prepared. I'm quietly confident or quietly optimistic for them. So different. It's like, you know, what they used to say. It's like, you know, I believe Rome is burning down when I step in the ashes of it. It's, you don't believe Misfits are going to lose until they've lost.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nothing's proven it more than their play. Time and time again, they seem to be on the back foot. They seem to be losing, and somehow they pull a magic bunny out of the hat and end up turning the game around. So I really hope that Enclave have the ability, if they do get ahead, to shut these down once and for all. And I think right now, with the composition that has come through, the game plan from Misfits is obvious. It is going to be win the bottom side of the map, punish Frappy and Shogun with the Caitlyn pick, ensure that you're putting the pressure down, and then once Rakan hits that level 6 point, it's going to be dive central. Especially when you're looking at Shen in the top lane, is going to be able to suit this composition so well. And I'm hoping that they've got it figured out, and I'm hoping that they can hold on, because with Shogun there on the Janna, there's a good amount to disengage. It's just going to be on Monkiz to make sure that he's able to protect the bottom lane and make sure that that isn't the case.
We'll have to wait and see. But, ladies and gentlemen, let us know who you think will win in the Twitch chat or on Twitter using hashtag ENCWin for Enclave, who are on the blue side, or hashtag MSFWin for Misfits Academy on the red. I have a feeling, generally with most weeks, Enclave do have the fan vote regardless of sense. They seem to, they own the fan vote and they own Twixes. That's just how it is, apparently, in the UK scene.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Twix thing, but it's just been around for so long.
Oh no, it's a dead meme. Like, it's 100% dead. And
the Irish casters, so we pick up everything late. It's like,
our
did you hear
our
about
internet's
the
like our internet's like 5 days old, so it's just like, you know, now we're hearing about it. But it would be interesting to see. I want to know exactly how Misfits are trying to figure out, you know, the slight, you know, kind of mess ups in their play, and maybe look to see if they've actually tried to fix that mid-game shot calling that's kind of plagued them for the last 3 or 4 matches. Eminem found fault with it. Excel found fault with it. Winded War found fault with it. Or Winded Ray, not Winded War. But, you know, it's all about, you know, kind of, you can only coast on those kind of, you know, we're better macro or we're better players full stop for so long. Teams will eventually figure out how to cut you down.
Yeah, and this is where we're looking to see if Enclave can be the Giant Slayers. Time and time again, teams have, as you're saying, found the holes. They've found the game plan. They've got the win in their grasp, but haven't managed to close it out. But when we're looking at what Enclave has right now, they do incredibly well in this mid game. You're going to have the Cassiopeia dealing tons of damage. Frappy, sorry, I keep saying frappe because of the coffees. But Frappy keeps throwing the feathers everywhere. He's going to be able to shred multiple members on Misfits. And also, the big thing is it makes it incredibly hard for Chrisberg to get into fights because he's going to be trying to play around those, which is quite difficult to do, especially when you need to be the main damage dealer on your team. So Enclave have the tools to do it. They've even got incredible global objective control coming through from the Shogath. So everything is in their favor right now. It's just a case of can they put the nail in the coffin and finally close out the Misfits win streak.
That's the thing. I know it is a very big if. Let's not beat around the bush right about now. Misfits Academy are undefeated for a reason. They are an exceptionally well kind of, you know, mechanically skilled squad. They very rarely kind of, you know, drag games on longer, and if you give them that one opportunity to beat you, they will beat you. That's how they've done it 3 or 4 times now in a row, where teams have almost had the right formula to actually win the game, but in the end, one misstep and Misfits just capitalize. So as much as we may be hyping up Enclave, it is very much an uphill battle.
Most certainly. And it is definitely, but this is the thing. There is only one game plan for Misfits. There's only one way they are playing this, and that is through Caitlyn. There's no other way for them to win this. They can try through the split push, yes, but realistically, with the amount of dive potential that can come through from Monkeys, if they are losing the rest of the map, it's GG. It's over already. So there is quite a lot of pressure on Misfits to make sure that Caitlyn does get to her late game scaling. And I'm looking at Kerberos as well, because he will, in these team fights, have the opportunity to try and dive onto the backline, dive onto this Caitlyn. And it's going to be on Special, on Pros Fair, and a lot of these guys to make sure that they're able to protect him. Because when you've got Monkeys diving in, he's going to be trying to drag him back. And you've got Shogat looking to get that feast down. This could actually be quite scary. So, yes, Misfits are a good team. Yes, they do play the early game incredibly well. But this is a scenario where they must get their game plan in action, or else it all goes to naught.
Have to see exactly how it all goes. Enclave gonna be feeling quietly confident, given that they had a draft that really kind of benefited them. A special goes in onto Paris. Paris taunted up, gonna have the Winds of Torment doing a lot of damage, and he needs to be so careful. Honestly, right now with the Sejuani kind of unknown to where her location is, Paris, you've only got Cleanse and Flash. You have no way of blocking damage. Once the damage goes down, he's dead.
Yeah, exactly. And Special is very, very tanky as well. So one of the benefits of this Galio pick in the mid lane is that he has the capability to dive towers.
Oh, he has the capability. Burns his Flash and Paris's, but they do trade a 1-for-1. First Blood, though, does go over to Special. Honestly, bit of a misplay. Could have gotten out of that without having to, you know, die himself. And gotta take solace if you're an Enclave fan, because that's gonna be a little bit of a positive note.
Yeah, it ends up pretty even across the board. The minions had already died to the tower, so Paris doesn't really miss out on gold or XP. It's a trade piece. And the big thing is, though, that the teleport on Galio had already been burnt as well. So the fact that he's now coming back into lane means that it's going to take just as long as this Cassiopeia to return. So across the board, tit for tat, nothing major, and still has the cleanse on the Cassiopeia as well to keep her safe if Sejuani shows up around that level 6 point.
Speaking of level 6s, Kerberos has just gotten his, as has Shikari. So both of these top laners going to have their ultimates available if something does happen in that top side. You would imagine that Cho'Gath's going to feel a little bit better, considering his does a crazy amount of true damage for, you know, reasons.
Salt? Is it salt?
I'm just saying, I think I brought it up every single week. It's just like, as an AD carry main, this meta is just so not fun.
One of the guys that I play with, without fail, time and time again, whenever he gets feasted, whether it kills him or not, is just, man, I got outplayed in all chat every single time.
it's like the new like Syndra R. It's like, man, outplayed. Like, what? It's just too good mechanically. As I said it though, Paris gonna be caught out a little bit. That's a nice ultimate from him though, and that's gonna be a stun off. Has not got cleanse though. Not able to do much else about that, and the fact that the Zac was pushed down the backside means Monkeys was not able to help, and that's another death onto that mid lane going over to this Galio.
I'm not sure why Paris was playing that aggressive when he didn't have the flash available. That's the big risk that you run right now. Yes, you have the cleanse, but that can only keep you safe from so much CC. And when you've got the taunt, you've got the knock-up, you've got the Sejuani knock-up and everything else to go with her as well, there's no way you're getting out of that. You don't chase the Galio. It actually cost him the death the first time around, where he chased Galio into that little corridor. Galio turned it around and then ended up murdering him. So I'm not sure what the idea was from Paris trying to go for take 2 in that situation.
Yeah, especially without flash, knowing that the Sejuani was there and everything, is with Shishikari going in onto Kerberos, and it's just a long bait, and Misfits, it looks like they've fixed their early game. It looks like they are looking to take a very similar road to XL and make this a dominated performance. 3-1 in kills, 1,000 gold lead at 8 minutes. Not looking good so far for the side of Enclave.
And this is the thing now, Paris can't put any pressure on the top lane because he burnt all of his summoner spells, which means special is free to put in. Kerberos, you can see, is losing out in these trades to Shikari, which means Shikari is free to push in. And now that global pressure from those ultimates we were talking about becomes even more possible to execute, especially when you're looking at Chrisberg and Prosfair have hit that level 6 point. The ultimate is available for the Rakan, and you can already see that Deflect is hovering down on this bottom side as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see in the next 2 to 3 minutes an entire, not just a party, a complete rave in the bottom.
Oh, that sounds fun. Not for Enclave, but for Misfits. If you're a Misfits fan, it's fun. If you're an Enclave fan, it's not so fun. But I actually want to call out a little bit of a draft. I know we started to talk about, like, you know, Enclave having kind of the run of the land in that draft phase. And yes, they did make, you know, a couple of decisions and stuff like that. But given how Frappy and Shogun usually play on this team, how they usually set up on terms of, like, you know, lane pressure, they're the ones who are getting the early kills. They're the ones who kind of make up for the lack of top lane or mid lane pressure. The Janna just doesn't give them that. If anything, it negates it. It's all about disengage, which is fine, but that's not how Enclave have historically gotten their wins, or even gotten their advantages.
I agree with you, but it's just when you're going up against Chrisberg and Prosfair. Oh, actually, hang on a second.
Yeah, we're going to have to see now. Special gets a good 2-man taunt, as we see now. Sejuani coming off on the backside. You can't engage on this. There's just too many people who can join the party. Shen actually gets stopped off, so he's still in the top side, but Paris has nowhere to go. Is going to be taken down by the fat Poro riding lady. Taunt does hit off the monkeys, but he is able to get out, and I just don't understand what they're trying to do in this mid lane.
No, I really don't. And I'm gonna be mean and just put a lot of this onto Paris. Paris is trying far too hard to punish Special right now. He's been chasing him into the corridors leading down into the river, which has got him killed twice now. Now it's got him killed again, and here comes that dive we were just talking about. Yeah, they have no ultimates available to Afflict. Has got a little bit of CC to himself. That is most likely going to be a lot of pressure onto this bot lane turret. Might not be able to get it, though, this wave. Ultimates are available for Shogun and Frappy. As I say that, though, we're going to see the TPs coming in. Janna ultimate has been used. Monkeys forced to flash away. Will not get taken down by the Ignite. Cho got TP'd onto the back of that, but just couldn't get into the fight. Misfits don't really lose anything. The only thing they really lose there was the Ignite and the Teleport. Enclave are forced to respond, but I suppose Paris does get a little bit of free time in this mid lane. Enclave will be happy with that, though. Turning off the music on that rave means that they're not going to fall behind. The ultimates across the board is, sorry, not the ultimates, the ultimate and the TP has been used by Shikari now, which means they're a lot safer in the bottom lane. Still need to be careful of Special. He still has his up and ready to use, but it does mean that a lot of the pressure has been eased, particularly when the ultimate from Prosfair is down. Now they're able to take it a little bit safer, push out the waves, but looks like they want to just call it quits, get out of this lane completely. They don't want to deal with everything that Misfits are throwing at them, and they're going to look for this top lane turret instead. Yeah, little bit of kind of, you know, small little things that Enclave can try and capitalize on, but like you said, just not good enough right now, and Misfits, they're able to kind of, you know, despite that little bit of a botched engage, they still burn Kerberos' teleport. They still have the tempo advantage, despite not getting any of the turrets. They're the ones who are in control of this game. Enclave, who are noticeably known for their very good early game and very, very questionable mid/late game, they haven't really got much to go on. And right now, Paris just needs to try and calm down a little bit. Yeah, this is the thing. he's trying to punish Special, but you can look at these trades, how they're going. Yes, you can argue the Abyssal Mask has been complete on Galio, but he wasn't really putting down a heap of damage. And at any point in time, Special was always going to out-trade him if he could get onto him. And Paris was never really playing around that safe area, which cost him quite a bit. And if you look as well, when they were going for that fight in the mid lane, there was zero ward control in that bottom side river, which is where Afflict came from. Because of the way Misfits are playing the game, they want to get the control of that bottom side river to make that play we were talking about, where they go down with the Galio ultimate. You want to be able to hide that you're going for the play and ensure that the river is completely in your control. But because of that, when Monkas went to work with Paris, they had no idea who was coming up from the bottom side of the map, and it ended up costing them again. So that's 3 kills essentially that went across that really didn't need to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely some decisions that need to be kind of shaken up there, as we see Frappy and Shogun just defending that top side despite the pressure that has been put down by Afflict. You can see what they want to do. They want to go for a dive, use that Galio ultimate. The Hero's entrance, the Grand Hero's entrance special is up here. They'll take a blue buff steal just for their own kind of sake, but so much pace and pressure being put down onto Enclave, and they have yet to really find a good response. They're equal in the bot lane, but it's 2 assists up onto Shikari, so he's feeling good. Jungle is a million miles ahead, as Monkeys has just not been able to actually be there in time or even have any kind of significant ganking. Mid lane is a disaster in all senses, as Cassiopeia should be doing so much better against this Galio pick, and you're 20 CS down in your ADC. This is not looking good for the side of Enclave. They need to step up something. They need something to go in their favor.
They're trying to make it happen on the top side of the map, and if they can hold out, if they can hang on to these towers, wait until the Cassiopeia's got a little bit more damage in her favor, they're going to be in a good spot. The biggest issue that I'm looking at right now is that Misfits aren't going to allow them, although as I say, that Frappy and Shogun are hiding in the bush, will end up making their way out, so nothing's going to come of it. But you can see that at the moment, yes, the kills are going in Misfits' favor, but no objectives are really going across. Apart from, it looks like right now they want to get their hands in this Rift Herald.
Yeah, with full vision control over on that top side as well. Monkey's nowhere near. Now they know that it's going down. It's just going to be too little, too late. Misfits picking up that nice objective for themselves, and that can turn into quite a few towers, as we saw in the last game. Excel made very good use of that one if the right conditions are in place. But all depends on where everything goes from here. We're probably being a little bit too hard on Enclave, but like you said, if they just calm down, if they stop trying to look for the 400 IQ play and just play like they normally play, they can still come back into this. The Xayah and the Cassiopeia will still be huge. Cho'Gath will literally be huge. We'll be able to pretty much one-shot anyone on the team, apart from, I would say anyone, mainly Caitlyn. They still have options. They just need them to go their way.
Yeah, they do have I want to say they have a better team fight, simply because of the CC. I don't see how Misfits really find an opening in these team fights with the CC that they have available. Frappy will have the Featherstorm available, which means he can dodge away from Afflict as he throws the ultimate, dodge away from Special as he tries to follow up on that. Monkas is just going to have that ultimate to escape. We've seen it time and time again from Zax, and you've got the cleanse on Paris. So when it comes down to team fights in and around these objectives, Enclave are actually in a fantastic spot. It's just that they need to make sure that they're not falling behind in these laning phases. Shikari will outpush Kerberos, so it has to be Enclave who have some semblance of control on the map to force objectives, to force Misfits to try and come towards them. But right now, they haven't really been able to find any opening, and they're just slowly but surely losing, as you can see, towers across the board to Misfits.
We'll have a little bit of a push up in this top side. Frappy and Shogun should be able to make short work of that turret given 1 or 2 more waves, but that does open up the bot side. It means that Dragon is now available. They don't lose mid lane yet, but very big emphasis on that yet, as it's so low, and it's just difficult to see now. Misfits look like they found out what they need to do. They're taking a controlled, composed game. They're really looking to try and kind of, push that narrative that they are the #1 team in this competition.
You can see as well, Shikari is just taking no damage from Frappy and Shogun in the top lane. I'm actually trying to get onto Shogun to see if he can pick him off, but isn't able to quite find the taunt, but will protect the tower, which is a big boon for Misfits as they're going to continue pushing on. And we talk about how Chrisberg needs to step up. Right now, 171 CS, the highest in the game. He's making his way up towards Infinity Edge and Zeal, but Munka's looking for a fight.
Yeah, was looking for it and will find himself a nice little kill there. Set up everything. You probably would have wanted it on Frappy, but it doesn't matter. Gets him back into a little bit of a solid situation. Kerberos, though, trying to find out special. No one really with him. The Stand United is available, so Kerberos needs to be just a little bit wary of that. Hasn't exactly won this trade as of yet, but it's just going to be handbags for a very, very long time as this top turret starts to take a little bit more pain now. Frappy gonna take taunt and actually a huge amount of tower damage. Needs to be very careful as that two more auto attacks could actually kill him. That was a little bit unnecessary in my opinion. I know he was trying to go for the tower, but definitely did not need to burn everything that he did.
Yeah, I like the Kerberos to start that off, was pressuring special in that jungle. Meant that when they were looking for the tower dive onto Cassie up in the mid lane, they were safe. It meant that special couldn't join that, but 100% agree. Frappy went a little bit overly aggressive for that tower. Has been able to heal up a little bit, but it means that Shikari is able to free push onto this top lane as well. And that's going to be realistically the last remaining outer turret for Enclave. This mid lane is not long for the roll. One hit from Chrisberg will drop that. And now it looks like Misfits are starting to step into gear. And once they can start to control all the jungle vision on the side of Enclave, it'll make it a lot more difficult for them to stop the plays that are coming through from Special and from Shikari. The global ultimates are going to rain down from above and make it incredibly hard to hold on to these tier 2 towers. This is something Misfits have been doing incredibly well, is rotating, using those global objectives, whether it's a Tam Kench ultimate, whether it's the Galio ultimate on Special. They've been able to find fights time and time again where they're diving consistently, utilizing extra members at all points in time. And Enclave, I don't really know how they're going to be able to hold on.
Yeah, they'll need a pretty good fight because right now, the kind of key situation or the golden situation for the side of Enclave is hope that Misfits for some reason either whiff the Sejuani ult or use the Shen ult and or the Galio ult and then have that as an advantage. Use that to your advantage. But while I say that, there's no reason to fight if you're Misfits if you have 30 seconds ahead of Enclave on every single play.
And this is again behind the play, picking up the top lane turret. They are going to find Special, but there's a lot of members up here. He's not going to fall down quickly either.
He's not going to fall down quickly or at all. He picks up his first kill, and that is the go sign for the rest of Misfits. There's no disengage. There comes the Galio's grand entrance as he tries just to keep this fight going. They're trying to just get anything going for them right now. It is going to be Zach dying on the backside. Everyone is just falling down. They will lose the Rakan, but no one really there. Paris only just joining the fight now. It's just too little, too late. 1 for 2, or 1 for 3 even, in favor of Misfits. And honestly, that could spell Baron.
Yeah, Kerberos has used his feast. There's no jungler there. They're going to be free to go for it, although they look like they're looking to see if they can pick off Paris. And this is the thing. Enclave do fantastic in team fights where they can set up, where they're going in as a unit. Not when they're trying to dodge around in these jungle where they're all spread out and separated, coming through from many different angles. Unfortunately, it means that they're find themselves caught between a rock and a hard place. Special, so tanky right now with that Abyssal Mass, especially against a Zac and against Paris as well. He's not going to go down anywhere near fast enough to make that pick before the rest of Misfits show up.
It's just such a strange idea to go in. I would understand that 100% if it's the Rakan or the Caitlyn. But having neither realistically just doesn't work out. And as I say that, we're going to see Paris just jump onto Prosperg, does get the kill, and that's going to spell Misfits trying to back away. There is the
TP
Let's Bounce. Well. TP coming in off the back of this as well. They're just trying to keep him grounded, keep him here. Chrisberg is now with this fight as Shogun forced to flash away. Does not want to get hit. Chrisberg forced to flash as well. They will pick up a little bit more of a fight as we say that. Now, Chrisberg, one more hit will do it. He goes down. Paris finally making this Cassiopeia work, and that immediately spells go. They want this Baron. They can take it very, very quickly, but TP off on the backside. They're going to use the Janna ultimate, try to keep monkeys alive, but he's just not tanky enough right now. Galio is off to the side on this play. Shikari is here as well. There's the taunt already used. It's going to go down. They pick up Shogun. He's the sacrificial lamb. There's the smite. Now you see the re-engage coming out from Enclave. They want this. They want to keep going. There is the ultimate coming out from Galio. They will lose Zac, though, on the back of this. They don't have the mana on Paris, and they will back away. They lose 2. They gain the Baron, but more importantly, they gain more gold. They've got the gold back in their pockets to actually make plays and take some of these structures.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. When Enclave can actually be the ones taking the fights, that's where they're strongest. And you can see Prosfair gets caught out. Great play by Paris, and eventually makes the rest of Misfits suffer as well, picking up that Baron. That'll help out massively for Kerberos in the bottom side of the map, as he's been trying to push desperately into Shikari with no success. There's a Rock Portal and that Titanic Hydra have just been such a nuisance for him, but it's going to be a lot easier to deal with now. Also, look at what I see on Janna, on Shoga. We were chatting about it in the first game of the day. 2 Banner of Commands means that it's going to be so hard for Special, for Afflict, to deal with these bannered up super siege minions that are going to come in their way.
As I say that, though, Prosper sees an opportunity, as does Shikari, as they come in with the combo, and Frappy has been taken down immediately. And that is going to put a massive stall on this push. You can have all the Baroned up minions in the world with the banner of commands of every single team in the world. It doesn't matter if you have no damage, and Frappy was the damage onto turrets. Great opportunity, and this is what I was talking about. As much as we might give out to Misfits saying that they, you know, have bad, you know, kind of decision making, they don't really know what they're doing, you give them one opportunity and you're done. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, fantastic engage coming through from Misfits. Shuts down everything Enclave had worked so hard for. You can see just no vision really for the side of Enclave. Means that Prosper is able to get in and just be an absolute nuisance for the backline alongside the rest of Misfits, picking up the kill onto Frappy. They're now going to continue to steal away this blue buff, which is so critical for a Cassiopeia. So Misfits are now back firmly, well, maybe not firmly, but definitely in control of this game.
Yeah, being able to stop that push, delay it now again. They will be able to push it back in, though, so this tower will not be staying for very, very long. Like we said, Xayah can do some serious work with it, especially with the Janna Eye of the Storm being able to do a lot for them. Now they'll put down the banner of command onto that siege minion. Now can they look for something else? All it takes is 8 hits. There's 1. They don't even need 8. They only probably need about 4 as they go for another push. This is very, very positive coming out from Enclave. They recognize they had a little bit of an advantage, and now they're looking for that in Nexus turret. Honestly, they can just leave this here. There's no way they can actually take this on the side of Misfits.
Yeah, this is going to be the inhib turret going down. Miasma forces Chrisberg back, and he's the only one who can really clear this wave. 2 more shots, and that'll be 1 dead inhib turret. Misfits might look for the engage before that, though.
I don't think they can. There it is. It's just so strong. It's so silly. It's Banner of Command. And that is going to be a massive swing of gold going back in favor of Enclave. They now take the gold lead. The fact that the dragons that they've lost have only been a cloud and an ocean have actually helped them so dramatically coming up to this point in the game. And now if you're Misfits, you're a little scared. You had total temple control, and now you have very little.
Can we just go back and make that like the commercial for Banner of Command? It's silly. Notes. You don't need macro. Hit the button, win the game.
I just got outplayed.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. This is why it's so strong. Is if you can get that Baron, use that Banner of Command, and especially when you're looking at, like, look at the junglers that are at the top of the meta right now. You're gonna have Sejuani, Zac. I mean, outside of Skarner, realistically, these all struggle to deal with these Banner of Command minions. You're going to have your AP mid laner. Even to a certain extent, we're seeing the likes of, you know, the Shogun on the top. These guys, the Scion as well, who struggle to deal with these bannered up minions. So this is just such a strong item at the moment. And you could see there, taking down the inhib turret without so much as a second thought.
I want to call out Shikari right now. Shikari bought the wrong item. He bought ZZ Rod. And then went, wait.
We sold it.
Yeah, he sold it for Banner of Command. It clearly shows that he meant to buy Banner of Command and bought Zizirot.
Shikari.
Shikari indeed. But that little mistake, fair, I guarantee you someone turned around to him on his team and was just like, why the hell do we have a Zizirot top? Who bought that? And he was like, yeah man, it's broken. And they were like, Banner of Command. And he was like, oh, that one. Yeah, I'll get it back next time. But like, that little thing actually helps out, because as much as we talked about
that's
the side
a lot of gold.
It's not even just a lot of gold, but even think of it from the sense of, we just talked about how Misfits struggle to kill that minion. Enclave have the exact same problem. They have literally nobody apart from Frappy who can kill that Baroned up Banner of Command minion. It's the same situation, so it's actually a pretty massive screw up.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm actually super surprised. I mean, I'm kind of laughing at the same time. It's like, I just thought it was the other item that nobody bought.
Yeah, the other thing that nobody builds ever. Yeah, that one.
Omrek.
Omrek. Oh, poor Omrek. Why don't they just kill it? There's no way people buy that enough for it to be warranted in the game.
Yeah. But you can see at the moment, like, look how much Kerberos is struggling to kill this minion. And if you could imagine that with a Baron of a Baron buff on top of the Banner of Command, it's so annoying as an AP top laner to deal with. And Enclave at the moment are going to be happy enough for taking down the inhib turret, but haven't quite got the grasp of the inhib yet. And that's definitely going to be next on their list of to-dos. No Baron for 50 seconds, but if they can start to shove in these waves and get some semblance of control on the side lanes as well, they'd be in a good spot to go for this. Feast again available on Kerberos. Not really too much pressure coming through from the Shen as well. It means that he should be able to make his way up towards this Baron as it spawns.
Yeah, both TPs are available. All three TPs are available. Sums galore across the board. Everyone is at their most optimal right now. Gold is equal. The only difference are two dragons that realistically don't kick in until after the fight. So this could be explosive. Misfits, though, they're the first ones on the map. They're the ones who are getting the vision control around that Baron. They know how quick this can go down to Enclave. They need to be so careful.
Yeah, they do. Misfits are first to the party, though, which is a big advantage for them. We were talking about already, Enclave want to be moving in as a group and ensuring that they're almost like a phalanx walking into this. You want to have your tanks in the front and make sure no stray skill shots are going to be landing onto Frappy or onto Paris. So now that they're starting to move in as a team and remove some of this vision, Misfits need to try and control it. Make sure that they're the ones that have entire control of the river, and then they can try and make a pick. Otherwise, they run the risk of what we saw before with Enclave just running them over in a team fight.
Enclave, when they get rolling, those long, kind of drawn out team fights will definitely benefit them a hell of a lot more with the Cassiopeia if she has mana. That's a very key point of that point. She now has 3.5 items. As I say that, though, gonna jump onto the Janna, taunted up as well, and deleted from this map. The Let's Bounce brings everybody over to the side. They didn't quite get the movement that they wanted, though. They wanted it to be in front of Paris, and that's gonna be everyone from the side of Misfits now. The Stand United is down. Enclave, they need to try and find a way out of here. Monquez and Paris just trying to back away. Monkeys just has no armor whatsoever. There's Paris going down as well. It all falls apart, but Frappy has made the decision. He's going for the inhibitor. He just wants to try and delay how much of a push they get.
Yeah, he will get the inhib. The members of Misfits are too far away, but Enclave not moving in to get... Oh, Kerberos do it. Oh,
I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can. The inhibitor does go down. We're actually going to see Kerberos. He has got flash available. This will be very curious to see now. 3,000 health. They know it's a very real possibility. They're going to leave it at about 3,000. Yeah, they're going to try and go for this. He jumps in. Now he's got as much damage down. Can he go for the consume? He can. He gets it. It's going to be Kerberos taking away the Baron. Misfits are disgusted. And that is a huge play in favor of Enclave. Take a bow, Kerberos.
Fantastic play coming through. I'm throwing question marks across the board. Enclave, first off, not going in as a group, cost them the fight. Janna gets caught out. Monkeys and Paris are next to go. But then Misfits, there's a giant Cho'Gath on the other side of the pit. Either go kill him or back off, because there's no way that's ever going to end well for you. They tried to play him out. They tried to get him to go in too early, but they end up putting it down so low that the Shogun can just finish it off. That's Enclave now, both Shogun and Frappy with the Baron buff available. The inhib mid lane is gone as well, and Enclave are back in control. They are going to be looking to see if they can start to get... I get so hyped about this, and then I look at the map, I'm like, oh, they can get the bottom lane tier 1.
But I know it is crazy to think they're still only getting this one now. They will pick this one up as the side of Misfits are not able to respond. It's not a big deal for them, but it's, again, more gold back into Enclave. At the start of that, okay, after that fight, after those people who die, you do not turn around to me and say, oh yeah, Ocean Drake, Mid Inhibitor, and Baron all go over to Enclave. That just doesn't happen. It shouldn't happen. No, it shouldn't happen. And now that we look at it, they're going to get a tier 2 as well, because Misfits late to the party, their own Rave being turned into an Enclave Twix, I don't even know what to say. It's just, I'm so annoyed at Misfits because this should never happen.
Yeah, but I mean, props to Enclave. They are the ones pushing in towards this. They've got 2 banner of commands available. One has already been used. That's the second inhib turret falling. Misfits don't have the engage available either. Galio is in the mid lane, so he's nowhere. Where are these lane assignments coming from? But they're in the back line.
They are into the back line. Frappy, though, does get out, gets a good play caller, but he does eventually go down. It's a 3-kill winning streak for the Galio. They do end up taking out one, though. That's going to be 1 kill going back over to Paris as he goes for a quadra kill. Are we going to see a pentakill? Only our second... or only one I've seen, the second one I've seen. We are going to see it. It's going to not be given over. Chrisberg says you don't deserve that pentakill. And that honestly could be
all
the
the
game.
pigs.
Yeah, all the pigs. Scumbag Chrisberg. Let's zoom in. That's right. You zoom in. But they haven't got lane priority. They do win the fight, but 2 inhibitors down. I'm not even going to say that Misfits are going to lose right now, because we've seen them with no inhibitors and still win.
Yeah, and props to Special as well. He has been doing absolutely fantastic. Yes, he got the quadra kill there as well, but he is so far ahead right now. And Chrisberg as well was able to dish out all the damage you need to, barely managed to escape at the back of that fight. And when Chrisberg and Special just complete all that zone control with the traps and with that ultimate, it's so difficult for Enclave to try and force an inhib like that. They do get the inhib though, which is the big objective for them, which means that now all of their members can just commit to the top side of the map. They have 2 banner of commands available as well, so even though it's not quite the baroned up minions that you were looking at, it's still going to be quite difficult for Misfits to deal with.
That and the fact that there are super minions off on every side lane makes it that little bit more pressure. They only really can send the Galio to deal with that. Shikari does have the Stand United, but won't clear them very, very quickly. Chrisberg, he has got his QSS, and actually something I want to call out Frappy for. He should have a QSS right now. It's so imperative that he doesn't get locked down. He is so much of this team's damage, and it's really showing a lack of respect for the side of... Misfits. Oh, they're going to back away. They haven't had enough people there, but he needs to make sure that he has that. He's relying too much. As I say that, though, Chrisberg, he gets caught out a little bit. He's going to get Let's Bounce back into the fight, and he's shut down. That is massive now for the side of Enclave. They take the turret along with it, and they take the Rakan. This honestly could be the game if they kill off Special. I think Enclave have done it. I think they finally found the code to take down the gods.
The Giant Slayers have come out. Enclave, out of nowhere, pulling out the victory. That's going to be the last inhib turret going down. They've got the 2 bannered up minions. The Nexus turrets are the only thing standing in the way.
They are the only thing, that and 1 afflict, but Enclave have done it, ladies and gentlemen. They have broken Misfits, and the rest of the Premiership will look on with big grins as the Giants have been slain.
That was insane from Enclave. We were talking about how they just need to hold on in the early stages of the game. A little bit over aggressive, but Paris comes